A space which has of course been in limelight, much limelight over the last 3 years or so. The Modi government adopted a multi-pronged strategy to boost India's defence manufacturing capabilities. 30 months ago, the Modi government decided to jumpstart the PSU-dominated defence production arena by pitching it as a lead sector for its Make in India scheme. While the high-pitched campaign has led to record FDI inflows, overall foreign companies are still not convinced about the Indian defence opportunity. The numbers bear it out. Take a look at the numbers on your screen right now. In the financial year 15, the numbers minuscule, 16 minuscule, 17 it picked up. That's about $945 million. That's $945. So that is the numbers we are actually talking about. So it's and hence the question. I mean, are we really firing blanks here? Who else but Mr. G.K. Pillai, Managing Director and CEO of Walchandnagar Industries, to answer that question and put into some perspective. So thank you very much. Good to have you here. The numbers bear out the story. You know, lots of hype around this entire defense opportunity, but why haven't inflows into the sector picked up according to you?
Good morning. I think it's a very valid point because, as you rightly said, when the new government came into power, a lot of emphasis was put with regard to opening up of the defense sector to both Indian private sector as well as also opening up with foreign partners and allowing FDI starting from 49% to say even up to 100%. But in spite of that, the real inflow of FDI has been very low. And at the same time, even for the Indian manufacturers of defense products, they also did not have much of a euphoria in terms of inflow of business. Now, if you analyze the whole thing, one has been that there has been some sort of a skepticism among foreign manufacturers that how the Indian system will work with regard to the defense production in public or private sector. So that has really slowed down. In spite of making it even 100%, one of the points which was there, that state-of-the-art technology was put as for allowing 100%, which they have now changed into modern technology. I think that will make some change as far as the foreign investments are concerned. Let me talk about the Indian manufacturers, the existing Indian manufacturers who are already in the defense sector. Companies like Walchandnagar Industries or many others who are there, a mid-level players. We were very, some sort of a euphoric when this announcement came about 3 years back. But for the last 3 years, there has been not much of a positive activity as far as order inflow was concerned. Things were still going very slow. Having said that, I think I would like to also say that the last 3 to 4 months has seen a big positive change. A lot of the defense-related orders are getting finalized in the last couple of months. And I have a feeling that perhaps the next couple of months, the first quarter and the second quarter of this financial year, there will be a positive change. I'm also looking at some of the large deals which has happened in the recent past with regard to various guns and even the Rafale of France. Many of the offset requirements again will be met by the Indian companies. So though the sector has not witnessed a growth what we have been expecting, but perhaps let us be positive and see that the next 1 year, 2 years, there should be some improvement in the inflow of orders for the defense manufacturers.
What about your company in specific, sir? There was some reports that maybe you would like to even diversify your business beyond defense?
As I said, as far as my Walchandnagar Industries is concerned, we were traditionally manufacturers and EPC contractors for sugar, cement and coke and power. We are slightly diversifying our range or trying to make this company's DNA become DNA. That is, the DNA of Walchandnagar Industries henceforth will be only DNA, that is defense, nuclear, aerospace. And all our existing strengths will be actually toned towards putting an emphasis on this segment. So Walchandnagar Industries hitherto, where we have been putting more focus on the sugar business, we are not going to put much focus on the sugar and coke and power. Okay. And we are definitely going to put more focus on the DNA sector.
Defense, nuclear, aerospace, it kind of fits neatly.
Yeah.
So, You know, just one very briefly, if you can tell us, are these numbers, looking at 15, 16, 17, really the right way of analyzing the success of what the government has been trying to do? Because A, the space is complex. You know, the gestation period involved while, you know, sort of ordering, finalizing, testing, finally placing a final order. I mean, it takes some time. So is it the fact that, you know, things will really pick up? I mean, say, for example, as you said, over the next year, 2 years, but just looking at the last 3 years' numbers, financially 17 included, is that the right way to say, well, it's not amounted too much? How would you respond to that, briefly?
You know, the 15, 16 and 14, 15 and 15, 16 numbers, one can't expect it to be very high because defense is a segment unlike a consumer segment where you start FDI, the very next day people start putting money into it. This being a complex, but 16, 17, I think it should have been a little bit more.
Okay.
The numbers are still very low.
Okay.
So that feeling is still there. 17, 18, I hope people have been a bit cautious in their approach. And as I said some time back, the modern technology wording in place of the state-of-the-art technology, that itself will make a big change into it.
Just two very quick company-specific questions. Will you revise your revenue guidance lower, sir? I mean, I think you'd put out a revenue number of 550 crores, 9 months is about 275.
Right. Actually, as I said, our top line, which was slightly higher in the earlier days, was basically on account of EPC business. And as I said, we have actually started slowly withdrawing from the sugar-related EPC business, and that is the reason why we are top line comes down. But our focus will be basically on the manufacturing. Walchandnagar's strength has been heavy engineering, manufacturing, and engineering. So the top line, though, is going to come down. But definitely in the years ahead, the profitability will be definitely more because we'll be only focusing on the manufactured products.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pillai, we have to let you go on that.